Change requires you to do something you've never done before. Jesus literally interrupts the man. When I do coaching, sometimes I can't take it anymore. And I say, you know what? Let me just tell you something. I cut somebody off. Why? Because they keep repeating a narrative that has put them in that condition. A negative narrative, a victim narrative, a narrative that keeps on now solidifying this belief system in their mind that they cannot change and it will never change. And sometimes you got to interrupt somebody and say, that's the problem. You've got to get rid of the BS in your life. You got to get rid of that bad belief system. Come on, somebody, in your life. You don't have to be that way. You don't have to be a drug addict. You don't have to be an alcoholic. You don't have to be that way. We serve a God that can bring change. But it requires you and I to do something I've never done before. He interrupts the man because the man is saying why he cannot, why it will not, why it's not going to happen. No one is helping me. And Jesus, imperative in the Greek, says to him, I command you, rise and walk. He tells him to do something he has never done before. The word of Jesus gave him the power and belief to stand up. The man hears and believes, and he stands up as Jesus said to him. He is doing something he has never done before. I feel something stirring right now. The word of God is being released right now. And somebody's going to walk out of here and begin to do something they never did before. They're going to walk out and say, no, with God, all things are possible. Oh, God, if you say it, I believe it. God, you... Why are you shouting? Why are you quiet? When I go to a football game and somebody's shouting, I'm like, why are you shouting, bro? If it's a radio game, that guy will turn out here, bam! The reason why he's shouting is because he sees victory on the field. The reason why I'm shouting, I see victory, not just in heaven. I see victory in the earth. The reason why I shout, I see victory in my life. I see change in my life. I see prosperity in my life. I see abundance in my life. I see God turning things. He yells a lot, doesn't he? You should see me at football games. You should see me at UFC. I want to jump in the ring. Then I don't want to die. I'll stay out. What is Jesus telling you to do that is beyond you? Why did Jesus tell him that? Of course the man could not do it. Because if he could have done it, he would have done it 38 years ago. I don't know if this is going to make sense to anybody. But when you hear Jesus for yourself, when you hear Jesus say something to you, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but it's like a rush. When my high school speech teacher said, don't ever be a public speaker. You're no good. That haunted me. And then God said, I want you to be a pastor. But God, somebody said, I can't speak. I'm not blaming the ignorant person who said that to me. But can I tell you, that was a belief that stuck inside of me. You can't do that. You have no background in that. I'm going to get real personal. Be a landscaper. Do labor. Be like, you can't speak. Metaphorically, I was like that man. I saw everybody else getting something from God. I saw that, and then I'm like, what? And when I had my encounter with Jesus in 1986 at the age of 21, and God called me, it leads me to my third point. Change requires you to change your mindset. And when Jesus spoke to me, just like Jesus spoke to the man, and he says, I want you to pick up your bed and walk. And Jesus now tells him to pick up his bed. The bed was that which he relied on to make himself comfortable.